Yes, that's pretty fresh. Fresh to death. Yes. What's up, everybody? My name is Mighty Mutts, and this is Pretty Fresh. Fresh to death, motherfucker. Yes. Sorry, I know that I am 1 week late, and I did not do an episode last week, but I'm pretty fresh. I'm just playing. I'm pretty. Man, that pretty fresh threw me off. Now I can't be anything other than fresh, I guess. I don't know. I've been busy. I do a lot of stuff. I'm not sure if you're familiar with what I am or who I am or what I do, but I am a photographer and I'm a video director person guy, and I do a lot of stuff for a lot of people. And it just so happens that I am from a crew called Soul Providers, and I'm also from another crew called Eotr, East of the River, and we are busy. We are busy bees, killer bees. We are on the road to paid dues. We are almost about 30 days away, and we are excited. We are just getting ready and trying to put out as much stuff as we can, as much content, as much work, as much things that we can put out to the people saying, hey, we're east of the river, we're Eotr, we're from here, and we do this type of music, and this is who we are. So if you want to know and if you're curious, go follow us at Eotr Network, and that's where all of our links are, all of our stuff is, and just go check it out. Zay just dropped her debut album. I think it was her first ever album, Botany. So go check it out, go buy it at Zay. I think it's www.zaybotany.com. Go follow her, XXXZay, ZZAY. I'm pretty sure if you type in ZZAY, she'll pop up. Sure, her search game is strong as fuck. We are brought to you today by Platform Collection, platformcollection.com. Go check it out. Go to the website. Go down the rabbit hole and look at all the stuff. There's photos, videos, podcasts and stuff like that, write-up pieces, a lot of art stuff, a lot of artwork. Go check it out. Yeah, Platform brings to you a lot of podcasts, like the Crappy Awesome podcast. Go check that out. It brings to you Really Though by Cookbook, also Stereotypes by Cookbook. There's also another one. I forget the name. I think his name is Kali. Yeah, I think it is Kali. He has 3 shows. He has Bars Weekly on Dash Radio. Go check that out, Bars Weekly. He also does a weekly video series called Bars Weekly. And I think a handsome motherfucker films it. Oh, that's right. It's me. Go check it out, barsweekly.com. We're up to a new episode, I think, dropping today or tomorrow. Go check it out. It's going to be tight to see the final 10. It's going to be like, whoa, that's what they're doing. That's crazy. Kali also has Proof of Life Radio. He also has the Status Escalate podcast. Actually, I think it's just Status Escalate podcast. That's it. No the. Fuck the. That's it. Fuck the. There's Life on the Road with 60 East. There is the 2Max Hologram podcast. There is Culture Session podcast. There's a lot of stuff, man. Gotta go check it out. The main one, or the other main one that we have, is Orchestrated Podcast. There's an Orchestrated Podcast network that has a bunch of little podcasts. So there was once one network, now there's a sub-network, and that sub-network has other little podcasts. So it's like a whole thing, and it's just like a little tree, and it's pretty tight. Pretty fresh. My favorite podcast from the Orchestrated Podcast Network, I don't know if you guys know this, but it's the Mo2 Crew, MOTUUAA, la la la, la la la, la 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 la. Man, that is just an interesting podcast, and I really, really love it. I love every week. I always listen to it. I always try to catch it on the first few hours that it's up. And the worst part of that podcast is that once I listen to it, it's the longest time from when I could get another episode. Oh, man. But I'm going to be on that podcast soon. I'm going to be right there, smack dab in the middle, probably arguing with Cash and Ty, Coldface Ty. Fuck you already. I'm going to say that now. Shots fired, motherfucker. Fuck you. Man, 3D Beats, we're going to be like best friends on that episode, man. They'll be like, nah, fuck the Attitude Era. They can't be all in the Hall of Fame. Blah blah blah. Yeah, that's the one of the first things we're gonna say. But man, I have a really dope story of Daniel Bryan, and I kind of want to say it now, but I kind of want to save it for that day that we all meet up, and I want to see your guys' faces like, oh what? No way. It's just it'll be fun. So hopefully I'll be on Master of the Universe episode, I don't know, 23, 24, 25, 26. One of those. It'll be fun. Can't wait. Cannot wait. Shout out to 3D Beats. Shout out to the whole crew, the Motu crew. Shout out Bay. Shout out Bay. Man, I'm excited. It's been a week off, and I managed to get a lot of stuff done. And I think it was last Sunday, I was like, man, I don't know, I don't have an episode to do, and I don't know which one to do. And then I was actually hanging out with Gadzooks, and he was talking to me, and I was like, wait, I have your episode. I have part 2 of yours. I don't know what's going on with me. I didn't even think about it. So today, you are about to hear Gadzooks part 2. And I thought of a cool name. You know how I put Gadzooks is pretty fresh? I'm going to put Gadzooks in parentheses. Again, like pretty fresh. Again. Like, he's still pretty fresh. Or should I put Gadzooks is still pretty fresh? I don't know. I haven't decided. I'll decide in a little bit. But anyway, Gadzooks did so well on the first, not the first episode, but his first time on the show, that I just wanted him to come. I wanted to keep going. I didn't want to stop. I kind of wanted to keep going, but I didn't want a whole podcast to be like 3 hours. It was just, I didn't think anybody would want to hear it. But there was an abundance of people saying, "Hey, that Gadzooks episode 7, was so good." Like, I ended up listening to again just to see if I, caught up or missed something or whatever. And there was a lot of people hitting him up about it, saying it was a great episode, a great show, and that I got into my groove and I got into my roots. I got into that. There you go. That the ship is swimming. The ship is flowing. It's flowing nicely. And I felt it too when we were doing that episode 7. If you guys want to check it out, episode 7, Gadzooks. If you guys don't want to, listen to this episode yet and be like, oh man, I don't even know what's going on because they're in the middle of something. Go check it out, episode 7, Gadzooks. But we were so on a rhythm. We were like vibing. It was just like we ended up doing like an hour and a half, and we were like, man, we haven't even touched the surface. And I was just like, you want to kind of keep going, and he was like, yeah, definitely. So we kept going, and I think we talked nearly for like 3 hours or about 3 hours, and it was great. I mean, I got to hear a lot of stuff that I did not know about Gadzooks, and man, this guy does a lot of stuff, and he's been through a lot of stuff. So I'm pretty happy that I could call him my buddy. We're actually getting ready to do the Active Shooter podcast. Hopefully, it will come to fruition before the year ends. But honestly, it's all on him. And yes, I'm telling all of you guys right now that it's all on him. I'm like, this is like his baby, but I came in to help, and I feel like I'm the fun dad, and I'm the one that gives you candy like at 11 p.m. And he's the type of dad that like gives you a Band-Aid and other health things in your lunchbox when you go to school the next morning. It's just, he's that dude. He wants to make it perfect, and he doesn't want to struggle for anything. He just wants to make it perfect right off the bat and not have to wing it and do whatever. Kind of like this show. I'm just winging it, but it's pretty good, right? I mean you're here listening, so I'm obviously doing something right. But I'm so proud of Gadzooks. I'm so happy for Gadzooks. This is episode 2. Episode 2. This is part 2 of Gadzooks. Gadzooks is still pretty fresh. Still fucking awesome. Follow him at Gadzooks, GVDZOOKS. Follow Stay Illuminated. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Platform Collection. Shout out to Fresh Daily. Shout out to Eotr. Jesus, man, I'm just fucking up. I missed 1 week and I'm worthless. Shout out to the Eotr. Shout out Eotr Network. Shout out to Gadzooks once again. Thank you, Gadzooks. I'm pretty sure you'll be on. They'll be on episode 3, episode 4, episode 5. Active Shooter coming soon. Gadzooks. Here we go. Okay, so part 2, Gadzooks, of who the fuck is Gadzooks, Zach. I don't want to say your last name because I don't even know how to say it.
Dude, I feel like part 1 just happened. That's right.
It's so weird, right?
Yeah.
It's not like we didn't just stop and just kept going.
Like you literally didn't even pause it.
No, we didn't.
You just did this weird.
No. Did you want to
ceremonious?
Did you want to go to the whatever?
No, hell no. I'm
No,
good.
I don't have.
I'm fine.
I feel like I wanted another one, but I don't have another one. So
Another
it's
beer?
Yeah, but it's okay.
There's another one in there.
That is true. Fuck, it's too far. It's too far.
I bought
Never mind.
3. Again,
It's too far.
I would never buy 2. I'll buy 3 or 5.
Okay.
I'm dead ass. I know that's some serial killer
It's
shit.
okay.
I feel like a serial killer is just part of my life that I haven't tapped into yet.
Right.
As far as you know.
All right. Last we left, you were. Well, fuck. We kind of bounced around. We went to 8 years old, then we went to 15, then we went back to 8 years old. So at 15, 16, 17 area, you started already hanging out with the essays. How you say it?
With the essays?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you were already kind of knee deep.
Gangbanging?
Yeah.
More
Were
or
you really?
less.
Was that?
I didn't get jumped into anything, but like I definitely I was like the only gang member that didn't get jumped in, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's really weird because that, like, I've never talked about this ever. But like people who knew me when I was a kid or a teenager, like they all know this part of me. So it's kind of weird. It's not that I'm ashamed of anything, but it's like it's weird when I see people from my regular life, that especially like from those times, they look at me like, this is so weird.
Yeah, it's
They're like, you're a writer? What the fuck?
I didn't know about the church thing. I had no
Right.
idea. I didn't know about the San Francisco thing.
Right.
It's those little things that made you into who you are today.
Sure.
Which is yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
The way you said it, yeah. But no, yeah, it's okay. So you're hanging out with the essays, I guess.
Yeah, and those were good times, dude. Those were
You didn't see it as bad? You're just they're the homies.
I knew it was bad. I've always been very, for all my flaws.
Were they doing bad shit?
Oh
or
yeah.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like what kind of bad shit? Were they tagging and stuff? Were you that type of
dude.
thing?
Yeah.
You were I've seen a piece or two of you.
Yeah, I used to do graph, but I used to do it more in a sketchbook. I don't even know how like real graph artists feel about that. I think that's considered stupid. I don't give a fuck at all.
I never liked the whole tagging thing.
Right. You mean like actually going out and tagging? Yeah.
I did it a few times, and just for some reason I just never liked it. I don't know. I just didn't feel it. When we were, when people say, "Oh, you get that rush," I never got that rush.
I see what you're saying.
I didn't get it. There was like today I was with Vile and we were driving, and there was a lady. It was a mom. She bought paint and she had to paint her fucking garage door because someone just tagged all over it. And I told them, I was like, "That's fucked up."
That is fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. That is fucked up. And it was one of those things that we were like, I told, because we had similar paths.
Right.
And I was like, "Did you ever do that?" He was like, "No, I don't think I ever did that. At least I hope I didn't, because that's fucked up."
Yeah.
And in my head, I was like, "Yeah, me too."
Yeah.
I don't see. That's the type of thing I would think about if I were to do that.
Yeah. Oh no, definitely. It kind of goes back to what I was saying in part 1.
Right.
Air quotes. Yeah, air quotes. And you can say that I'm full of shit or whatever. Not you. I feel like you'll agree with me, but anyone else, it's kind of it goes back to the stealing thing, where I would never fucking steal. I wouldn't steal from my parents. I would never steal from anyone individually. But as funny as this sounds, but I'll steal from the church. Okay, because that's like an organization. Yeah. I don't know. It makes sense to me. I wouldn't do it now just because I'm an adult, and
I technically did steal from my dad, but it was like his change jar.
Oh, okay, I got you.
He
got like candy money and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did get candy money because back then the Now or Later ones that they had like 10 little fucking
shit
candies.
Fire. What color?
Purple, whatever the fuck. Pink. I don't remember.
Don't dismiss my question like that's not vital information.
Okay.
Because I'm going green every time. Green or red. Green or red, or go fuck yourself.
It was because I would go in the jar and you have quarters there, so I'd get like $5 of quarters. I would go down the street, give him the $5. I'd get 5 Now or Laters. I would go to school the next day, sell all the Now or Laters for a quarter.
Look at you.
Exactly. I know.
Ew,
I didn't think of
tight.
that. I didn't think of the way you're thinking it. I didn't think of that. I was just like, oh, I want chips later. Like that's the way I saw it. I want candy.
So
I want
amazing.
candy and chips later.
Right.
I never thought of the way you just thought. Like, oh shit, that's hustler shit. I didn't think of that.
But see, I wasn't that way either. I wasn't a hustler.
Okay.
But I just, more than anything, I admire that because, like, fuck, I wish I was that way when I was a kid, you know?
But it's so weird because I don't know. I didn't think of like, oh, I don't want to. I don't know how to explain it. It's like that wasn't my objective. That I was like hustling to get more.
Sure.
I was just like, oh, I want a candy and I want chips.
Right. If I do this, I get this.
Exactly.
I'm gonna do this.
Like,
Yeah. No. Totally.
That was my mind state.
Yeah.
So okay, so you started. So you were hanging out. You were feeling good.
Right. Going back to the graph thing. It's
right. Go ahead.
We did. I tagged. You know what I mean? But
you have the name? Do you want to say the name? Not really.
No, I never had a name. I never knew what to draw. Or see, I said draw
your
because
characters or your like lettering.
Letters. I always like letters. Certain letters. Kind of the number thing too. Like I don't fuck with certain letters. I don't like what they represent.
I find that that hip hop people usually do at least two of the elements. So is that your second element that you do?
Yeah, I damn sure don't dance. I don't DJ.
Same. I wanted to DJ. I have all the equipment. I just don't.
Oh, really?
I just don't do it.
That's one thing that's never interested me.
Really?
I'm interested in the sense that I'll watch it and I think I'm impressed by it. You know what I mean? Like it's tight. I watch all the scratch documentaries and all that, but like it's never dawned on me like I need to try that ever. Not once. You know. Right. I have a turntable and I have vinyl because it's just tight. You know, but I've never really, even less breakdancing. I'm not a dancer. Like the idea of breakdancing is so ridiculous to me. Like me breakdancing.
Okay.
Yeah. So
okay. Besides the whole the graph thing, were you already the way I guess you kind of are now, where you kind of think about things a little bit too much?
Yeah, just things in general.
Yeah, when you kind of get that anxiety, I guess, in a way.
Yeah, it's one of those weird things where I've probably always been this way, to a certain degree, but once I was old enough to realize it, my wife actually is a big reason why I am the way I am. Just kidding.
Okay. Like she brought it out more?
Yeah, because she was going through her own shit. She was going through a lot of anxiety attacks and but she's so level-headed and proactive that she's like, okay, well, this is happening. I need to get help and I need to go see a therapist and whatever people do. She never got on medication. She just always kind of wanted to do it naturally. But that, I don't know. It's to the point where she would try to explain what's going on. Well, I feel this way, and I have that. I'm like, wait, don't all people fucking feel that way? Do you not always feel like you're gonna die? Because that's weird.
You have that? Do you think about death sometimes?
Only in the sense that I'm terrified of dying before I accomplish what I want to accomplish. But on the other end,
terrified of dying just.
What's that?
I'm just terrified of dying.
Sure. Like the act of dying?
What happens next?
Oh.
That's fucking scares the shit out of me.
No, I get that.
Which is weird because that always happens when I'm watching movies. Which is so
Any
weird.
movies?
Exactly, yeah. Because in movies, people just die and that's it.
Maybe do you just watch fucked up movies?
No, it's just like any random fucking movie. Like the other day we were watching what were you? Fuck, I don't remember.
Monsters Inc.
Which movie was it that I started freaking out when we were watching in the theaters?
You can make up anything you want. No one knows.
I don't know. I think it was X-Men or something like that. We were watching
that
something.
Sounds about right.
And we were watching it, and then she just sees me go like this, like. Yeah. I'm just like this, and she's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing."
Just
like,
everything.
I was like, I thought about dying. She was like, "The fuck are you? We're watching a movie. Let's fucking watch it." And I'm like,
She's like, "Look, asshole, enjoy the Notebook. It's not even the sad part yet." Go ahead. Sorry.
So I don't know, but yeah, go ahead.
No, I think I was saying, anxiety. The only thing that freaks me out about dying is, obviously leaving my son. My wife will be fine. She definitely would be devastated, but she'll be fine. I don't want to leave my son, but that's obvious. As far as the selfish side of me, which is the majority, I freak out about dying before I accomplish what I want to accomplish. Not that it will matter to me at all if I'm dead, but on the other hand, I've always kind of said, like, I know I'm going to live really, really long, because the idea of watching all my friends and family die is probably the worst thing ever, and I feel like that's definitely going to happen to me. You ever seen The Green Mile?
No.
Where in The Green Mile, I'm going to ruin all of it for you right now, but chances are if you watch it, you're going to freak out anyway, because you freak out in movies, so you won't make it to the end. It's a long movie.
I haven't seen Scarface, by the way.
You haven't?
No. That's one of my questions. I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. That's one of my questions. Those are one of my questions that I asked to people just to break the ice.
Have we seen Scarface?
No. What's a movie that you haven't seen that everybody else has seen?
Oh.
So right now, what is a movie that you haven't seen that everybody else has seen?
I don't know.
For mine is always Scarface.
See, that's a big one. You know who you need to ask this? John May. He hasn't seen any movies.
I fucking don't care then.
I don't care then.
I don't care then. He doesn't see any movies. Right. If he's known for not seeing movies.
That's very true. That's a really. That's like the worst person to ask.
For a while, it was Goodfellas, and then it quickly became my favorite.
You know? Oh, that's a great movie.
It is a good movie. Godfather was another one. I didn't see it. Then I saw it, and I was like, so many references are from fucking Godfather.
My wife would be the better person to ask this about me, because she'd be like, he hasn't even seen this movie. I haven't seen all the way through The Sandlot.
Oh, that's a good movie.
Does that count? That's a good one, right?
That's a good one, yeah.
Okay.
I didn't
Everyone's
see Goonies,
seen the
and she
fucking
showed
Sandlot.
it to me.
Oh, yeah. The Goonies is great.
Yeah.
You're a Goonie guy.
I didn't see 16 Candles also.
I don't think I've seen that either.
That's a good one.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it a chick flick?
Is it?
I fuck with the chick flick.
It's like an 80s movie.
Ooh.
It's
okay.
one of those
like
things.
Ghost?
No.
Like Breakfast Club. Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen that at least?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. She hasn't. I don't think she's seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
I have not seen that either.
It's a good one.
Hell yeah.
It's a really good one. It's a
Hell
good one.
Yeah. Strike two,
watch
man.
it.
Your wife's beating you, dog.
Gotta watch it. I don't know.
Look, where does it come from? Where do we go to? You and I may never know. But me, I stay skeptical, lounging on my pedestal, wearing a price, staring at life through my spectacles. Ran into Jesus the other day, that's what he told me. Smelling of booze, eating bologna, he was lonely. I slapped hands with him, pressed play on the Sony. Then I moved to his homie who sold me a phony rollie. As I witnessed rock bottom written on cardboard, recited by the man on the corner strumming guitar chords. And the song that he sings is so spiritual, a hymn of sin that way too many know the lyrics to. Pat myself on the back for giving him change, threw it into the case in which his instrument lays. Like a couple of dollars from the bottoms of my pockets is a contribution to a solution enough to stop it all. We rise and we fall and try to hone wisdom, but tell that to the people who carry their homes with them. Using the morning light to read about the war we fight in the same paper they use to keep them warm at night. The naked eye seems to bring the best view, cause they're quick to tell me God bless you. But me, I stay skeptical, lounging on my pedestal, staring at life through my spectacles. Another episode, another stepping stone, while I'm stressing over an unacceptable dressing code. Water and electrical on my fruit and vegetables, angry as they move over the decimals of Texaco. Yo, it's Mr. Amateur Professional. I got a habit of grabbing tighter as I have less control, instead of letting go. Heavens know I turn a bit more purple in the face with every breath I hold. Through these lenses I can see the fences, reminiscent of the ones in between my friendships. Come to the entrance of residential trenches, something like a Motel 6 of park benches. Defenseless in the land of the pretentious, senseless expenses and Mercedes Benzes. And as I walk, my thoughts proceed to travel until they're interrupted when confronted by a man who looked another mess. Spoke with a subtle breath, instincts telling me to back up a couple steps. But the look in his eyes was one of peace as he smiled in the place he resides within the streets. He said, pardon me, brethren, but can you spare a dime? Cause it don't pay much to panhandle and carry signs. And most of these good people don't have a care in mind when they see me on the streets as I'm standing there in line. I got dibs on some hand-me-down clothes and a home-cooked meal that doesn't come with a home. 2 times a year I'm giving holiday cheer and a lunch tray when all I really want is a beer. I'm getting old and I no longer got the heart to continue pushing my life in the shopping cart. And I got to start finding better places to stay, cause these rags chase away the friendly faces. I know what I am and I have come to grips with the fact that my chance passed by me and I accept it. But if I could just get a prayer and a blessing, so I won't have to look the way I do through your spectacles. I stood there silently, just trying to get a grasp on emotions inside of me. I wanted to throw my fancy threads on the ground. All of a sudden my diamond studs weighed 100 pounds. I felt guilty, and he hadn't bathed for days, but strangely I'm the one that's filthy. I reached in my pocket for my wallet filled with nothing smaller than $100 bill. He might buy drugs and he might buy liquor just to make his internal clock spin quicker, but who am I to judge? He can do what he wants to. If I slept on the street, I'd want to be drunk too. Maybe this was the angel in disguise that my mother used to talk about when I was a little guy. Maybe he had some children of his own, now grown, and a family that left him all alone. But either way, I parted and made my way back to the shelter of a happy home where I stayed. The next day, on the other side of bedtime, reading the newspaper, I saw the headline: a homeless man killed in a busy intersection, ran over and the only thing in his possession was $100 bill he was gonna use to buy spectacles to return the sight to his useless eyes. But on the way there was an accident and that was it. Game over, God rest his soul. I sat there skeptical, lounging on my pedestal, staring at the tears on my spectacles. I read between the lines of this freedom time.
All right, so because I remember my first name, I remember the fucking first night that we went out writing and stuff.
Okay,
they were like, "Oh, we all should have names and whatever the fuck."
What was your name?
First, Vile was Kilo, and I thought that was hilarious.
How did he spell
it?
it?
Kilo, just
okay.
Kilo. The other guy was something with like power. It was like fists.
White.
It was like, okay,
not white power.
Something was like something powerful. I don't know what the fuck it was. And mine was Blaze because my eyes were very droopy at the time.
Were you stoned?
No.
You don't smoke weed.
I did, but I don't like
okay.
it now. But yeah, that was at 17. We'll figure it out. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
But no, that's what happened.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I never tagged. I did tag at some points, but I was just never that guy, I guess. I would always have like a lot of books. I had like I had at least like 10 or 12 books that I had just fucking written out.
Right. Yeah, and that was me too. I did graph for a long time, but it was all in a book, or on paper or whatever. And I think it's more, I don't know, it's people like that. They catch a lot of judgment from the people that are like real taggers. That
is true. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I do get that feeling too.
But it's kind of like in my head, it's like, okay, but what I'm doing in my book is fucking way doper than anything you're scribbling on a wall. You know what I mean?
Right.
So do that, but don't judge me. I won't judge you, and we'll keep it thorough.
We'll be fine, yeah.
I think that's how you say that. I don't know what that means. It's some rap shit.
Okay. So they were all going around doing that stuff, and you were just tagging along?
Yeah.
Pun?
More or less. It was, but they weren't a tag crew, like they were a gang. So if they're tagging, it's because they're tagging on rivals' walls and shit. They were just tagging. So you were in, or you weren't?
No.
I was just hanging out with them.
Okay.
That's how I do things. I just kind of just enough to be associated, but
you're not. Okay.
Yeah, I'm my own man at the end of the day. That just means I don't commit to anything. That's what that means.
Okay. You were hanging out.
Yeah.
Having fun.
Having the time of my life.
Doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
You were doing hood rat shit with your hood rat friends.
That I was.
And then how did you just, hey, you know what? I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to chill back.
Well, bad shit happened, and I'd like to say that that's what
scared you off.
Yeah, but it didn't really.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I just kind of grew up and kind of lost touch with people. Like, someone died, right? And so once someone died...
Really close to you?
Yeah. And not really, really close. At the time, I thought they were really close, but since then, I've lost people that are really close to me, and now in comparison, I'm like, oh, that wasn't that big of a deal. Right. But at the time, your whole world is what you're going through at that moment. So at that moment, it was a big deal. But it wasn't so much that when that person wasn't there anymore that, I just felt the weight of it all and left. I'd like to say that that's what it was, because that'd be a responsible decision, but it was never that. It was just without that person around, I wasn't as accepted. And
oh, really?
Yeah, I was young. I was younger than everyone, so that's more or less how that happened. And, you know, I still see it's fucking weird, man. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Like, falling.
You still see some of them?
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, not recently, but probably about 10 years after I stopped hanging with them. I had a kid. I had several jobs. I had started rapping. Like, you know, I'd moved. I bought a house, or not a house, but I bought a home and you know, just doing my own thing, completely, you know, polar opposites of where I was. And we went to rent videos at Blockbuster when that was still a thing. And this dude's at the counter and he looks at me and I look at him, and, you know, it's one of the homies from back in the day. I'm like, shit, man, how have you been? He says, shit, fucking been in jail. I just got out last night. I'm like, oh, word? For how long? It's like, shit, 3 years. It's like, God damn. So in all the time that I've been living life and, you know, doing this and that, like, you just been in jail, you know? And that shit blew my mind. Like, that, more than anything, that kind of put it all into perspective. Like, I could have very easily, even though I wasn't in, like, you know, you are who you hang out with, you know? So I could have very easily have been caught up in some stupid shit. You know, and I was a lot of times, but nothing that like jeopardized my future. You know, I stopped just in time for it to be a positive thing I look back on, rather than fuck, I got over that. You know, that almost killed me. Like, no, it was tight. It was fun. I learned a lot about myself, about the world. I'm a better dad because of it, right? Because now I'm not overprotective, but I know the signs, you know? And it's weird. I have a little joke, all right? Like, it's weird because my son's at that weird age where I don't know whether to tell him to stop hanging out with people or ask his friends for weed. Because he's like me. He's mature for his age, right? So he hangs out with all the older kids. And
how old is he?
He's 9. Okay. But his like friends, he has one little friend and they're the same class, but like on the block, like his friends are all like 14, 15.
Oh, okay.
And shit, we were savages at 15, and we didn't even have the internet, let alone phones with the internet, you know? So these motherfuckers, no.
Oh, he doesn't have a phone?
No, he has an iPod. That's a funny story. So,
but his iPod is like a phone now.
Exactly. Apparently, that's news to me.
Stuff, yeah.
Right. It's basically a phone that doesn't call people.
Just the way he said it right now. It just sounded so dad-like of you. Apparently, because I didn't know.
Dude.
Okay.
And back in my day, iPods were just a little thing that looked like a phone that you put music on.
Okay.
Perfect. You know, and come to find out, like you said, it's
iPods
essentially a phone.
Apps.
Yeah, it's everything a phone does, right? And he can FaceTime me, which is kind of tight, you know, when he's only FaceTiming me or my wife. But next thing you know, that opens all these doors. Now he has a fucking Instagram. Because you can have that on an iPod now. That's right. Right? Yeah, and it's weird because most parents would be like, no, I don't want him on Instagram because, you know, I don't want people to see his shit. I don't want him out there in the world or wherever. Me, my first thought was, fuck, I don't want him to see my lifestyle. Because he's going to expose me as the goddamn hypocrite I am.
Do you follow him? Does he follow you?
Fuck yeah, I follow him like a hawk. And yeah, he follows me.
Everywhere?
And it sucks.
Everywhere? How was that? Did he ask you first? Did you just wake up and you were like, you just saw, oh, he wants to be your friend?
No.
Was it more like, hey, Dad, what's up? How come you didn't?
He downloaded Instagram.
How come you haven't responded?
Right. No, he downloaded Instagram. He's smart. He's too goddamn smart. But he downloaded Instagram and he didn't know how to make a screen name, I don't think. But he figured it out. I think his older friend helped him out with that. But the thing that warms my heart is his name is Gadzooks 2.0. Oh, and he came up with that on his own. So that's tight. Awesome. I was like, oh, that's adorable. Block. He can look at my photos, but I hide him from my story. Okay. My story's for the savage shit. You know what I mean? You never know what you'll find on my story. So
it's funny because some photographers and people, I guess I don't know. You're still that rapper to me because you still have that rapper story, not
Sure.
the photographer story. Photographer story is more like
the
other
IG
stuff.
story. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's more that way. And then the IG story is more like rapper you. That's your savage
Definitely.
rapper you.
That's where you're going to see a lot
What's up,
of
bitches?
Right. right.
I'm over here having fun and shit.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of shit that 9-year-olds shouldn't see.
Right. Okay.
So I block him from that.
That's awesome.
But he doesn't know. You know what I mean? He's, as far as he
doesn't.
knows, that he might. He
Hey,
could
Dad,
very
what's
well
up?
know.
How come you blocked me? Wow.
Because Daddy's a maniac.
Okay.
And I want to save you.
So you met your wife in high school.
I did meet my wife in high school.
Do you want to say how?
Do
Do you remember how?
Oh, yeah.
Is that it? Fuck, did I
so
just ruin
her-
it for you?
No, you didn't ruin nothing.
Oh God.
You can try harder.
What
Keep
if
going.
what if you didn't know and you're just and I was just like,
Oh, and you just exposed me as
exactly.
No.
You just have to make up a story. She's
no, that's
probably
fair.
not gonna hear it.
Right. I hope she. I kind of hope she does, and I hope she doesn't.
I hope she does.
Here, yeah.
It's another listener for me.
It's weird.
Hey,
That's
go ahead.
another. That's fair. I respect that.
Okay.
No, but that's not to derail, not to go off subject, but it's kind of
A
weird.
short story if you want.
Okay, my wife.
Met her, boom.
There it is.
Just kidding. Go ahead. Just go ahead.
I mean, the spider web keeps going. Again, her parents went to the same school. My parents went to, but her parents met each other at that school. My parents met each other at that school. We met each other at that school. Her uncle teaches at this school. Her cousin married my cousin, both of whom went to the school.
Okay.
So the
That's,
school is just kind of a breeding ground. It's
For your both families.
just close enough to incest that you can say that,
Nice.
but it isn't quite. So we'll get there one day. Generationally.
Your son's your uncle?
Something like that. No wonder. So anyway, I met my wife, and she's dope, and I married her, and it's tight.
Great.
Yeah.
How long from that?
I met her in 9th grade. I met her the summer between 8 and 9.
In the summer?
Yeah.
When no school or during
Right,
summer
I
school?
met her the July 3rd, and I only know that because,
Nice.
well, yeah, the next day we had a party. I was with my hood rat
Are
friends.
you you don't listen to people under the stairs?
Do what?
People under the stairs?
Not extensively. Not
I
to the
remember because I
extent.
told you that's why. Okay.
Yeah, I do remember.
I'd have the July 3rd song. And
I
was
remember
like,
we were
that'd be
both in your
awesome.
car outside of Exer's house
Yeah.
at Wino's release
didn't
party,
wanna
and we
do
we're
that.
both having a panic attack, more or less. I think it was just me, and
say
you
that.
just got there.
We'll say that down the line, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So don't talk about that.
Yeah, we can.
Never mind. None of that happened.
Yeah, it's all right.
So
Not
my
yet. Not yet, at least.
yeah. So my wife. I met her July 3rd. I knew that because we're at some open gym thing. I was just there to pick up chicks, and I found one. And it
Hook,
was,
line, and sinker.
like, what are you doing tomorrow? Fuck, 4th of July shit. Want to do it together? Fuck yeah. So that happened, and I was still young.
You were
I
how
was,
old? 16?
15.
15.
So-
Jesus, 15 happened.
Yeah, man.
15 was your influential year.
Yeah, dude.
A lot of shit
Telling you,
happened
even
that
numbers,
year.
bro. Even
Damn,
numbers.
that's
15,
all right.
25,
All right.
31.
But the 3rd, I guess it wasn't even, but all right.
The what?
The 3rd, July 3rd, it wasn't even. Wait. Shit, anyway.
I think I said even numbers, but I meant odd numbers.
Got it.
I don't know at this point.
Okay.
Um,
Or we'll keep going, I guess.
yeah.
So, did you
That
go to
got
school?
weird.
Did you go to college?
I didn't until much, much later.
Really?
I went to college. What is it? 2017. I went to college in 15.
Really?
So yeah, not for very long. I took.
You didn't graduate or anything?
No, I graduated high school, and then I got a job and just chilled.
Is that the job you have now or no?
No. I
Okay.
worked. Right out of high school, I worked at a college, in the bookstore. So
Nice.
I have a ton of books, and that's kind of like I just got books from work a lot, But I was like driving a forklift and shit, so that was dope. And then you just get older, and you're like, fuck, I definitely want to do this my whole life. Like, that's not ideal. I'll do it, but meh, So, but still, no college. And that's the funny thing. I was there for 10 years, and I went to college every day because I worked at the college. So I just never went to class. That's the joke.
Mhm.
If you could laugh. There it is.
All right, there
Thank
you
you.
go.
Okay.
Okay.
So
You went to school? Oh, shit. You went to school 2015. You only went for what, a year?
Yeah, I took philosophy. I took math.
What were you going for?
So that was at one of the weird points in my life where I stopped rapping. I was like, all right, you can do regular people shit because it totally works that way. You just turn it off and proceed.
You just didn't build this whole fucking world that you spent years building.
Just for nothing. Light it on fire.
No,
yeah, that's how I do things. But so that was when I stopped pretty much all things art, and I kind of just threw up a Hail Mary and was like, I'm going to be a respiratory therapist.
Holy crap, really?
Yeah, because
that was your big reason to go into school?
Yeah, I mean, more or less. And the funny thing is you need a bunch of math courses, and so I was always quote unquote shitty at math, but really just because math is fucking boring. And so they were telling me, you need X amount of math classes. I think you're filming me and it's distracting.
Boomerang.
I'm just kidding. So you need X amount of more math classes. So I'm like, oh, that's fucking whack because I don't like math classes. So I'm going to do all those classes first and get it out the way. So I went and did just that, and I ended up like top 3 in the whole class. I ended up killing it. And so that felt good, but the shitty part is when I quit, really all I had under my belt was math classes that now mean pretty much dick, other than the fact that I can say, dude, I killed that math class, which I don't really care about. But my point is I could have been spending all that time taking dope classes like psychology or cooking. Cooking's a class, right? You take cooking classes.
That's the only bad thing about like college, because you have to have I guess you have to follow the curriculum.
Sure.
And you have to get, like, you can't just take journalism 3. You have to get
right.
English 1
and that's
2.
what I wanted to go for
so
eventually.
Stupid.
Exactly.
I would love to just get that way.
Right.
I already did the photography beginner shit.
Yeah.
I don't want to go advanced digital. Why do I have to do? It's so stupid.
Yeah, I know it. Yeah,
it's just that's how it was because that's how it was for me when I went to school. I had to do all this stuff, and then ultimately the class that I wanted ended up not. It wasn't available anymore, and I was like, well, what the fuck did I do all that shit for?
Shouldn't there be a better way to do these things?
And there is. It's called YouTube.
Interesting.
I
believe I've heard of that.
It's nice. It's a good school.
I think a documentary I did is on
there it
YouTube.
Is. That's how we found out each other.
Right, but yeah, I learned all kind of shit on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much everything I know is on YouTube.
So going back, you were 24 when you found out your son was coming?
No, I was 21.
21.
When I found out my girlfriend at the time was pregnant?
Sure.
Yeah. I was 21. I met her, I was 15, and then...
Just bad at math.
And then I turned 16.
Okay.
And then I turned 7.
You gotta do this.
If you're gonna laugh, you should laugh out loud because I can see you laughing, but they can't see you gotta do it laughing. Slow, so you need to go ahead and acknowledge my humor. So,
ha 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 ha.
There it is. I feel better now.
Good.
So she was in my class, and we pretty much spent our lives together.
What class? What do you mean?
In high school. My wife.
Oh, okay.
We're talking about my
because I thought you said 21, so I was
no. That's when my son was born. So my wife and I were in the same class, so on and so forth. Graduate together. She moved to Moreno Valley to go to hair school.
Is that what she does now?
No,
she does. Too?
No, she graduated because she actually follows through with things and commits to things. Cosmetology. Yeah.
You just belittled it by saying hair school.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You fucking do hair,
right? Yeah, just do hair. That's all you do.
So, does your wife also?
No.
Okay.
She wanted to.
Okay. Because you looked over at her, I'm like, fuck, I'm totally insulting his wife right now. Okay, good. So we moved in with each other, what was I, 20? Or I had just turned, no, we moved in with each other 2 months before I turned 21. And then coincidentally, my son was born very shortly after.
All right.
Things just happened that way.
Just the funny things in life.
Which in my opinion is very responsible because, again, I've been with her since I was 15, That could have happened a lot earlier.
Yeah.
You know? So at least we both had jobs. We had a place to live, you know, had our own shit. So it definitely
already rapping, right?
No.
Really?
I started, I mean, like really rapping, like trying to be a rapper.
Really rapping.
No, that I did that when my son, before he was 1, you know.
Right.
I don't know why. When big things happen in my life, it kind of like, it freaks me out. I'm like, fuck, I got to do something outrageous, you know?
That's outrageous to you?
Yeah. Just a big change. I had to shake shit up, you know?
So your son is coming?
Yeah.
You're excited.
Super excited.
When you found that it was a boy, you were even more excited? Or
yeah,
you were just
like you know that those parents, like, notice, I'm not saying they're not genuine, but there's most parents, you'll say, you know, oh, you're having a baby, what do you want? And they're like, oh, as long as it's healthy, you know, which
like,
I get. I'm like,
boy.
I want a boy, goddammit. If it's a girl, people hear that and they're like, oh, that's terrible.
I think your
because what if it's a girl?
Guy
you know?
friends are more like that. When it's your man friends are like,
right.
Fuck, like because they know what's up. So
right.
it's like, so when they say it's a boy, it's okay, it's a little you.
Yeah, right. Dude, since I was a kid, like I've always wanted a son. Always, right. You know, and I have one, and it was tight. I remember I was the guy, like I'd call off work every time, like she'd have doctor's appointments, this and that, and I was at every single one. I probably missed 1 or 2, you know, but
right.
You know, I made it a point to be at every single one, just because, I mean, it's kind of your responsibility at that point, but really I was genuinely interested. I wanted to be there, you know, I don't want to miss anything. And I wanted to support her, obviously, but I remember the day we found out it was a boy, I was fucking panicking because I can say it because it was a boy, right? If it was a girl, I don't know how I would have reacted. It would have been fine in the long run.
You didn't know, or
no? I'm saying the day we went to find out the sex of the baby. Yeah, I was nervous because I was like, okay, if they say a girl,
yeah,
you know, in the long run it'll be. That sounds terrible. Like, it'll be fine. We'll get over this. It's not that. It's just I had my heart set on a boy. So being you know, realistic about it. If they did say it's a girl, I can't promise that I'd be like, fuck yeah. I'd be like, ooh, all right, cool. You know, I'd be a little disappointed. And if you think that's terrible, I got nothing for you. Not you, whoever's listening and judging.
Right.
And you, if you feel that way.
Okay.
Anyway, so it's a boy. Shit's tight. He's cool. He got some problems, but it's all right.
That's all right. Well, what the fuck? What do you mean?
Nah, he don't have problems.
Now I'm just genuinely worried.
No. He's.
Is he allergic to anything?
I don't think so.
That's something you should know.
I should probably know.
Right?
Yeah, when he was a baby, he was allergic to strawberries, but apparently they grow out of that, and we only knew that because he ate a ton of strawberries and fucking it wasn't good. But now he eats strawberries and things are okay. But no, he don't have problems. He doesn't have any problems that me and my wife don't have. He has the anxiety thing. He overthinks everything. He's just really, really fucking smart. And I know everybody says that about their kids, but when I say that the same way that I say I'm 31, like, he's really smart.
Okay.
I'm 31. He's really smart.
Really smart.
Everything's going to be okay.
Jeez.
You know.
Good for him.
Yeah, no, he could either take over he could do whatever he wants. He just has to realize he can.
A lot of meth.
Yeah, right. That.
He could just cook a lot of meth or just take over the world, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants to do.
Whatever he wants to do.
Okay. So you start rapping right after.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good for you.
It was fucking weird.
I'm proud of you.
You're proud of me?
Yeah.
Thank you.
It sounds so. Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Dude, it was weird. It's one of those things, like, I forget how long ago that was, and I feel like that's, if I don't really think about it, it's like kind of that's still my life. But it's like, shit, a lot of shit has happened since then. Like, that's definitely history. And it's weird. History doesn't feel like history until you really acknowledge it as, whoa, like, that's my story. Weird. I didn't even know I had a story. Mm-hmm. I'm just kind of doing my thing.
There's certain things in life that people have to experience, I guess.
Sure.
And some people don't get to experience it.
Right.
You were lucky enough to experience certain things that were, negative, but you
Right.
experienced it, so it made you who you are now.
Yeah.
The farmer thing was crazy. I didn't know about that shit.
Right.
We didn't even get to it, but I'm assuming throughout those 10 years or so that you had, you were working a lot closely with it.
Mm-hmm.
Your mother and father separated, and you lived through that. Then you met your wife in high school, and you had your whole crazy life with the essays and stuff. I don't know why you say essays, but whatever.
Because they were essays, dog.
You say, I don't know. You have your son not early in life, but a good time.
Yeah, sure.
And then after you just start fucking rapping.
Yeah.
And then you create this whole
whatever
Gadzooks.
this is.
How did Gadzooks come about?
Like the name or the person? I don't even know who the fuck the person is, dude.
The guy, the rapper.
Again, this just kind of all goes back to me wanting to do everything. Like like I said in part 1, the idea of
check out part 1. Just go to the back, just check it out. Episode whatever the fuck it is.
What he said. Yeah, that complicates things because that was episode 8.
I think no idea what episode it was.
But who knows when you'll release this one? So this could be 300.
I don't know. It's going to be at least 10, less than 10. Maybe
sick.
9.
Okay.
Who knows? I don't know.
Cool.
Go ahead. Keep going.
What were we talking about? My attention span is useless.
We were saying now it's fuck. Now I don't remember.
No, it's. Oh, I think you're talking about who I am and how I got this way.
Exactly. Rapping. How'd you become Gadzooks?
So
why Gadzooks? You just like that name because of Scooby Doo?
No, it was just kind of cool. Like it's some real. I'm a little older, and so it's some real backpacker shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I remember I listened to that podcast.
Was it given
neat.
to you, or you just gave it?
No, I gave it to myself. It just sounded super cool to me at the time, but I was younger and like into the hip hop shit, and now it's like, fuck, you're a grown man calling yourself that, but it's kind of cool. Put it this way, and this might be some egotistical shit, and I'm willing to accept that, but when I write, like, I'm not confident in anything I do except my writing, right? That shit, I got that shit.
Writing raps, writing blogs, writing
writing like blogs, right? Articles.
Yeah.
I'm kind of working on a novel, like just like anything writing, like I'm really good
about.
It's a whole nother story. Well, we can go into it, but it's going to derail everything.
Okay.
But no, I'm really confident in my writing, and it's kind of tied to me when it sounds super like, wow, this dude probably went to college, and he's really good with words and all that, and like, what's his name? Gadzooks. What the fuck? Who's this asshole? Like, that's kind of funny to me, and that's tight. But that's pretty much the extent to which I enjoy my name. Everything else,
artist name. It's the artist name.
Essentially a stage name. Even though I don't go on stage anymore.
Yeah,
so it's just kind of a persona at this point. I don't really see myself getting out of it. Like, what would I do?
No,
use my regular name?
No, you
Fuck
shouldn't.
that. And who
of
does
course,
that?
now you shouldn't.
Yeah. Okay.
Now you've made that. You made yourself.
Yeah, and it's just
It's your
one
life.
word.
That's you.
Like Madonna.
Gadzooks.
What's Madonna's last name?
it
No one
sounds-
knows. It doesn't matter.
I don't fucking know.
Who cares? She's Madonna. Madonna's awesome.
Okay. Gadzooks. You just made that person. You made that person who he is.
Yeah, apparently. And people seem to fuck with him.
So
Some people.
When I look back, because randomly, I was stalking your Facebook, and I went all the way back to your first. One of the first profile pictures that you had up.
Christ.
You had a lot of pictures of flyers that you were on, and you weren't at the bottom. You were way the fuck up top.
I either made them or I'm just
you
that
just
tight.
ruined
No,
everything right now?
no, I'm just
You
joking.
just
It depends
ruined
on what flyers. Oh, well, if there were other people on the flyer, then I didn't make it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's weird. It depends on the flyer you're looking at. I used to make flyers. Dude, like, this is before I knew that there was a scene or anything. Like, I knew someone who rapped, who lived in the Bay, and I was just fascinated at the idea that, like, because I heard him rapping on an Atmosphere track, and I was not only fascinated that someone else in the world knew who Atmosphere was, but I was like, shit, how did you get your voice on Atmosphere's beat, right? It was trying to find a balance, and I was like, that is so dope. And so I hit him up, and one way or another, I figured out, oh, you just get the instrumental and you get a recording software or whatever, and you figure it out. And so I asked him, and he kind of walked me through it, and I was like, damn, I kind of write raps. I could do that too. So I did it. It's terrible and whatever, but I don't delete anything. I have them all, and you'll never hear them. Yeah, you know how that is. But I'll probably never listen to them again either. That terrifies me. Going back to dying, it terrifies me that I might die and someone. Oh my god,
dude! Check out this Gadzooks on Atmosphere Beat.
Oh,
no? I would love to hear that shit, dude.
If I knew of a way that when I die, everything else could just self-destruct with me, I would pay $1 million for that. Jesus. Yeah, it's a big deal. But
don't check my search history.
Yeah, right, exactly. Right. If I die, bury my phone in the desert.
Okay. Okay.
So we're wrapping on Atmosphere Beats.
Right.
And so I wasn't aware that there was a scene. So I think from then I made X amount of songs, and I was like, fuck, I guess I could perform them. So I just called around bars, and there were just bars around Orange County. I guess they had a stage. So I'm like, do you guys do shows? And I'm like, we do. If you want to do a show, all right, tight. Can I come rap? I'm like, yeah. So I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm going to go do a rap show. It's going to be dope. There's going to be lights and smoke, and it's going to be tight. And I show up, and it's just a fucking dive bar with no one even in there, and just go up. And I had told some friends and family, and it was awkward as fuck. Super tight.
Even in front of your friends and family?
Especially in front of my friends and family. I'm that guy. I'd much rather perform for strangers. You know what I mean?
Really?
Yo, yeah. Because there's no expectations. There's no context,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's because I can't what is it? I don't know how you are on stage, so I'm
okay.
I'm very curious because you could say however the fuck you say it.
Sure.
I just never seen that.
Sure.
I've never seen you on stage.
Yeah. It's weird.
I don't know how you are. Do you control the fucking crowd like how
I do?
How I feel exactly how I feel like you do? It's just one of those things. Like,
I'm really good at performing, dude.
Yeah.
And again, this goes back to like people will tell you I never fucking give myself credit for shit, right? To a fault. And I write really well, and I perform my ass off.
Because everything you do it to a fucking point where it's really good.
Only because I'm obsessed and I don't. I'm quality over quantity to a fault. Even if that means I do two things in 1 year, those two things are gonna be the best they can be to my ability. It's probably not the best business plan, but again, I gotta find a balance there. And we're working on it. So you look like you were gonna say something.
I was gonna say something that just kind of the joke kind of went away. You said I'm trying to find a balance, and I was like, oh, just like
I know. I went there too in my head. Yeah. I was like, don't say that. It's ridiculous. And go ahead, you did
joke. It. Yeah. So I have no idea because right now, we're like, we did 2016, and we learned how to do from the beginning where we didn't know what the fuck to say during certain parts to recently where we just fucking
are talking about performing.
Yeah. Performing.
Oh no, I definitely went through that that phase.
So now I'm very curious how it was because it went from whenever your son was born
07
yeah to what 2015
yeah.
You had obviously a lot of years to perform,
develop,
develop, and you became that person to capture the crowd and get the I would love to, I want to see that.
In a way, it's kind of like a reoccurring theme in my life, right? It goes back to the college thing where I put all this fucking work in. I did all this shitty math classes. I got it out the way. All this shit that no one wants to do, but you get it out the way because it's necessary, and you grow from it, and it's just necessary. And now I can do whatever I want. I can take all the fun classes, but fuck college. I don't want to do it anymore, right? Same with that. I did all the awkward shows. I fucking lost money all the time because I agreed to sell tickets because I wanted to open for whoever the fuck because you think that's how you get big. When, maybe you do, maybe you don't. I didn't. And I mean, I made a little noise here and there.
Who have you performed and opened up for?
Shit. the big ones, Dub C from West Side Connection, that was tight. I played right before him. Action Bronson, Mac Lethal, Fat Lip from the Far Side, Pigeon John. You know, not huge names, but they're huge to me. You know what I mean?
They're goals for you, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
Or do you have any more goals? Well, actually, I don't know. I don't even know if you're gonna keep
performing.
Or if you're gonna come back.
I don't know. I don't even think that far ahead. You know.
Did you ever have goals
as far as opening for people?
Yeah.
Not really. I was just open for people because really I just I don't know, the idea of meeting them was tight, but which is ironic because I'm definitely not that guy. I don't like to talk to people very much. I wish I liked to talk to people more than I do. I'm just not comfortable doing it, you know. People I don't know and shit. Plus, I hate the guy. We all know the guy. You know, when you get to be around certain people, like people with names or whatever, you always see the one guy that's just like so stoked to be there. And we're all stoked. For instance, when I was at Project Blow, the anniversary, right? I'm in the green room because I'm taking photos of everyone, and I'm just elated inside because fuck, there's this guy and there's that guy and that. But you know, keep your shit together, act like you've been here before and all that. Plus, it works to my advantage because I don't really want to talk to anyone anyway because I'm fucking super shy when it comes to that. And there's always that guy you pick out that he's just doing the most, and you could just tell, oh, you're not a DJ, you're not a producer, you're not a photographer, you don't even work here, you're just kind of here hanging out, and that's cool. But come correct, you know, you're making way more noise than all these guys that everyone came to see. The idea of being that guy or even being thought to be that guy, like, terrifies me. So I just kind of go the other extreme and just keep it all in, you know?
Yeah.
How that relates to rapping and performing, I don't know.
So you were getting to this point where you were not, because you had fucking flyers with your fucking face on it.
Yeah.
You were going up, you were up top.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's not an easy thing to do.
People
Promoters and whoever the fuck makes the flyers and stuff.
Right.
Like you're going to be last or you're going to be before the headliner. That's not easy because it took us almost a fucking year to get from way at the bottom in the first to fucking way up here.
Yeah, yeah.
So you did that and you got to that level.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I don't really want to do it.
Yeah, it's like the college thing.
Yeah.
I put in all this shitty work that no one really wants to do, but you always have to. And I got to the point where I knew I wanted to be, and I just walked away from it. You
didn't know that you were going to walk away from it?
No.
Was it like a big? Oh, okay, I'm leaving this.
It was a huge like a midlife, quarter life crisis kind of thing.
It was just randomly like I don't really want to do it. Were people asking you or
asking
to perform?
Me? Oh, dude, people ask me to perform now. Like
I would too.
I get like I literally got an email last week, you know, because someone will hit me up through Bandcamp. I haven't even seen my band. I don't know what the fuck's on my Bandcamp, right? Either. But someone will hit me up and like, hey, I'm putting a show together. This person's playing. I'll pay you this to come play, and I'm just like.
Jesus, you're gonna get paid.
I really appreciate the offer and the notion, but like I don't really perform anymore. And I'm not being an asshole about it, you know. I'm not that it's like beneath me. I just fuck the idea of doing that again because I know myself, and that'll open the door. Where that door leads, fuck, it's anyone's guess, you know. So it scares the shit out of me. So
were you always like overthinking every performance that you did?
Oh yeah. Wow. Yeah. Every fucking performance.
Was it like was it a hassle for you to go through that every fucking show?
Yeah.
So it really put something. I guess it would put something out of you, right? Or no?
Yeah. No. It was definitely a burden. And it would affect the way. It would affect me, and naturally, it would affect the way I'm a husband. It would affect the way I'm a father.
You'd be sacrificing
an
a lot of time.
Yeah. Oh, that. I mean, I'd sacrifice time, but also just like even when I'm there, all I'm thinking about is fuck. I have a show tomorrow. I have a show in a week. Am I prepared? What songs am I gonna do? Oh my god, what if no one shows up? Fuck, I have to sell all these tickets. This is ridiculous. Why am I doing that? You know, that whole thing, and then you're just way down the rabbit hole, and there's just no returning from it. So, me, I'm at least I was incapable of balancing it, so I just did the only thing I knew how to do and just ran away from it. And I wanted to I looked at it like with disdain, like fuck this, you know what I mean? And it was unreasonable, because I met a lot of cool people, dope. I have dope friends because of it, like friends now. And, shit, I got to experience a lot of shit that most people don't, but so I did the 180 thing. I'm just like, nah, no art, no nothing. Fuck the internet. I'm going to college. I'm going to, do whatever people do after college. And it just didn't work out. I was depressed. I go up and down anyway. I'm a moody cat. I have peaks and valleys, more valleys than peaks, but we're working it out. But
what happened after then? After school?
After school,
after college,
I was broke, and so I knew a guy who owned a business. I hit him up. I said, "Hey, you got any openings, man? I'm drowning here." And he says, "Yeah, I don't, but I know someone who does." I'm like, "Fuck, all right, whatever, So I go interview. The guy's my age again, and cool dude. He's like, "Hey, you don't happen to do any graphic design, do you?" I'm like, "Well, actually, yeah, like I dabble." You know what I mean? And he says, "Cool."
You self-taught yourself?
Yeah, YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's like,
Great.
"Well, I need someone who's good at writing and someone who can do graphic design." I was like, "Shit, man, I got you. I got you. Anything I don't know, I can learn. Trust."
Right.
So, so that's where I am now, and I'm grossly overpaid, so I'm kind of comfortable in that department.
It's funny because for both those things, graphic designing and for writing, it seems like it looks really well done. It looks really great. But I guess it's just because me,
Sure.
but I do get the feeling like you did teach yourself that.
You're right.
I don't know why. I don't know how. There's not like a thing. There's not a flaw in it or anything like that.
I see what you're saying.
But I know, or I feel that you taught yourself.
Interesting.
I don't know. It's weird because when you send me the designs for the new stuff we're working on, I saw it and I was like, oh, he did it himself. I know he did.
So it looks amateur is what you're saying.
Okay, if you want to say it that way. No, it looks fucking amazing. No, I can't do that shit at all. But it's just one of those things.
No, I
get it.
I get what you're saying.
It's creative minds, man. I guess.
Right.
I just know what's up.
Yeah. No, I get it.
But there was
the music.
Man, you got to school. No music.
No music.
You left.
Okay. I did leave. Yes. Got to school, left school, got the job I'm in now. It's working out.
Great.
It's just just good
for a
enough.
while. I thought you were doing the blog, and that was getting you everywhere. I thought the blog was like your job.
Oh shit! That's the dream.
I know.
I
thought that was your job. That's why I was like, "Fuck, man, what the fuck does he do?"
That's the dream, but also like I'm not 100% sure
the box. Again, to the box.
I'm not 100% sure that I won't hate it if it's the only thing. If I have to do it,
you have to do other things to make you like sane.
Yeah.
I get
so
it.
like I thought,
dude, don't worry. I'm you. 6 years from now, before whatever.
Oh, good luck.
You're in the future. I get it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry.
Well,
I got you, bro. Or you got me.
Nice.
Exactly.
I'm lost. I think I know where you're going with that. Nah.
Okay.
But it's easy, you listen to this shit and you talk to people and you have these delusions of grandeur, I guess, and you're like, or not you, me. I'm like, if I just didn't have a day job, I could be a fucking full-time artist and everything would be tight. You know what I mean? At least in my head. But really, again, I know if you put me in a room and tell me, okay, just create no matter what, because that's how you eat, I can't do it. I'm going to freak out, and not only will my life be shitty, but my art will be shitty. So I kind of need balance, but
I was forced into that.
Sure.
But I'm still like riding the waves where I'm happy.
Mm-hmm.
But
That's
I don't
good.
I'm fearing that would happen because I have all this to do.
I did notice that.
It's a lot of things to do, but it's just like I want more.
But I look at that. I'm like, that is fucking awesome. We're looking at Muds' 2 whiteboards, and it's just maxed out with things to do, lists of people to film or shoot or something.
A lot of stuff.
That's amazing.
I haven't gotten to that point where I don't want to do it.
Sure.
I'm fearing like, oh, I hate doing it. I'm
Sure,
still like having fun with it. So
that's great,
I'm happy.
dude. That's the dream.
But I'm fearing for that because I've had that before.
Mm-hmm.
I've got to that point before where I don't want to do it at all.
Right.
And it took me to fucking go to Minneapolis which is on my first episode that I talked about the whole thing.
Okay.
And that was like a big, okay, I am doing the right thing.
No shit,
and
dude, that's
I kept going.
Those little moments of clarity.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Sometimes it takes those trips, which is where you fucking go everywhere.
That's my life.
I guess it kind of, for outside looking in, every time you go somewhere and you come back, I feel like it's like a moment of like, okay, I am doing a good job.
Yeah, it's just thing. I gotta shake shit up. Like even recently, like I just got kind of comfortable. So I'm like, fuck, I gotta go to Cuba or something. So I'm going to Cuba next month. What is it?
Holy fuck.
In 2 months, I'm going to Cuba. Yeah.
Alone or with your wife?
No, with 3 friends.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it'll be interesting because you're not technically supposed to go to Cuba. It's the medical marijuana thing, where it's kind of legal, but yeah.
Well, the dude died, so I think it should be good, right?
Right. The more you dig into it, the more you realize it's not really him; it's more us. Because you assume, they don't want us there, Cuba, right? But then you realize, so you need the visa, you need to jump through all these hoops when you come back. So the tricky part is getting back to America. Right. Well, so wait, scary. So who doesn't want who where now? You know, like. It gets political, and I don't fuck with that. But it's, the writing's on the wall. I'm looking at the wall. All I see is I can go to Cuba. I just can't necessarily come home. But I'm supposed to be mad at Cuba. Kind of weird, right?
Right.
Anyway.
I get it.
But we'll work it out.
I understand.
I make shit happen. We'll work it out. So.
If I ever went to class at all, I'd leave 45 minutes before school was dismissed. Now I drive a 45-minute commute to work a 4-hour shift, and for all 4 I'm usually pissed. I got a chip on my shoulder, only outweighed by the thorn in my side. Born in the tide of the Santa Ana River that I swam into Westminster, delivered on the day that I arrived. I watch my investments move in a direction proven to bring less than lucrative ends. I wake up early every morning and immediately hope that I'll never have to do it again. Now tell me, what's he gonna do when he gets out of jail? The same exact shit that got him into that cell. I don't wanna preach, cause I probably shouldn't teach, but it isn't like I didn't try to reach, but to each his own. Full grown and a full-blown cynic, rolling down the street in a Plymouth 1987 POS minus a taillight. When I used to fly boats and sail kites, everything was backwards, every single factor. Tell that grandmaster we're headed for disaster, cause Baxter Stockman is locked in the disintegrator again. Somebody better stop him. Maybe Johnny Cochran, maybe Dennis Rodman, maybe Stone Cold Steve Austin or John and Kate Gosselin. I don't know, man, I'm only doing what I can, and there's a reason you don't understand. It's cause you're a vulture, nah, you're a gopher. Not very bright and you're even less cultured, looking for any little excuse to pull it out the holster. Step up your adult game and go through a growth spurt. Oh my God, yeah, boy. Yes, y'all. I'll be the next best from the West, y'all. It's peace, love, and menthol. Let's all give all of that noise a rest and see if we can't enjoy this mess, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'll be the next best from the West, y'all. It's peace, love, and menthol. Let's all give all of that noise a rest and see if we can't enjoy this mess, y'all. I'm convinced that if quitting my job had a taste, it would taste something like hot coffee and cold beer. And the sound of that door slamming in your face is as beautiful as the music I don't hear. Comparable to sounds of nature and a newborn baby's cry. But here I am sweating like a slave up in Debo's pigeon coop, hiding from his lazy eye. I financed a Mac Pro at no interest, up in Best Buy a couple days after Christmas. Damn, it was expensive, that's an understatement. So buy my record so that I can make another payment. But you'll probably never see it on the major corporation shelves. They can go fornicate themselves. I'm staying on that DIY. If these wings don't fly, I'm I'ma rip out my feathers and say peace to the sky and try my luck up on the ground. We don't need fire, let that motherfucker drown. Listen to the sound, get down with the mechanical movement. Understandable smooth shit your grandma can move with, cause mine does. She supports her grandson, young, talented, handsome, and some. Granddaddy was a soldier, she was a hula dancer, and both of them beat the fuck out of cancer. Cancer. Yes, y'all. I'll be the next best from the West, y'all. It's peace, love, and menthol. Let's all give all of that noise a rest and see if we can't enjoy this mess, y'all. Yes, y'all. I'll be the next best from the West, y'all. It's peace, love, and menthol. Let's all give all of that noise a rest and see if we can't enjoy this mess, y'all.
All right, so you ended up getting a camera. I don't know how the fuck you did that being broke. Was that like a big thing? Oh, boom! I just played.
So, again,
after the job, you just ended up I want to get a camera.
Oh, well, I bought my first camera when I was still broke. So I have this philosophy, right? I can already see my wife rolling her eyes, judgmentally and rightfully so. I feel like a bunch of friends I have, they spent, no judgment, I'm just calling it how I see it, they spent a ton of money investing in their education, right? I never did that. I did go to college, but I took community college classes and shit. It ain't cost no money. So they get out of college with these degrees and they're, I don't know, $100,000 in debt, right? And they still, most of them still don't have the career that they thought they'd have, right? Me, I was broke like they're broke. I invested $1,000 in a camera. I'm not making money from it either, but they're way more in debt than I am. Really, this is all me justifying spending money irresponsibly.
What camera was it?
It was a Canon T3i, a Rebel.
Nice.
And I talk about this on Crappy Awesome too. It's like that.
Well, fuck it then. Never mind. Let's keep going.
Okay.
Go ahead.
That camera, that was my first camera, and I took it.
You still have it, right?
Yeah, I do, just because I can't get rid of it. It's just, I'm nostalgic like that,
the
the way you are.
Hey,
yeah.
A photographer thing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, I ended up traveling because I had a side gig that let me travel a lot. So I ended up going to New York. Before, I had no interest in being a photographer. I liked looking at pictures, right?
But again, it's one of those things where you get into something and you want to be the best at it.
Exactly. I at least want to be dope at it, So went to New York and I was like, I'm going to New York. I think, I'll take this camera with me. And for the shit I like, or at least what I was into back then, I liked a lot of like street photography, but more like architectural photography,
Where were you seeing that made you like that?
I don't know, to be honest. It's kind of just in my head. Like, even when I was drawing, I did a lot of like geometric patterns, and I was big into like tribal designs. It's the Polynesian thing, but it's all triangles and it just makes sense to me. And which might go back to like the numbers and shit like that. Like, a big reason, it sounds weird, but a big reason I like odd numbers is because there's always one in the middle and the same amount of numbers on. So if you have like 5 fingers, there's a middle finger, and then 2 fingers, or a thumb technically, on each side. The point is, it just makes sense geometrically to me. So in New York, everything is very, it's just a bunch of squares. It's like Minecraft. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, cool. So you shoot down a street with a camera, and as long as all the angles match up, all the lines match up, it's gonna look dope. Right? So I went to New York and convinced myself I was a dope photographer, because you snap anything in New York and it's gonna look tight.
Afterwards, or was this before?
Before what?
Did you think that afterwards, or did you think that before, that you were a dope photographer?
Kind of during. I would just snap and like, whoa, this shit's tight.
Is great. Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm gonna take more. So I just kept taking them. I got home. I didn't know how to edit. I had Photoshop just because I made all those flyers that you referred to.
Yeah.
And I was like, how does one edit photos? I'd always heard that, but I wasn't shooting RAW. I'm shooting JPEG. I didn't even know what the fuck that was at the time. I'm shooting full auto, all that. Don't know shit about aperture, none of that. And I just came, and I've always just been big on composition, because there are people out there, you know, that they know all the technical aspects of it, but their compositions aren't that good, you know? So, I feel like you can teach this might just be giving myself too much credit, but like you can teach someone the technical aspects, but you can't really teach someone to see a dope photo before it's a photo. I think it kind of I mean, maybe you can. There's influences and inspiration and all that, you know, but like I go to New York, like that's my mecca, right? I go to New York and I just see nothing but shit I should take pictures of, you know? And a lot of other people also feel that way. That's why like I come home with the dopest picture of the Brooklyn Bridge. Like this shit is tight. I'll put it on the internet and there's a million other pictures just like it, right? So I'm not saying I'm a visionary. I'm just saying like I know what looks dope.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I get to travel more. I take it to, I don't know, wherever the fuck I went, Australia.
Oh yeah, whatever.
No, I don't mean to sound that way. I'm very, very lucky. I think the next one was New Zealand and then Australia. But yeah, then you know, I got a blog because I was writing. So then I was like, you know, I could make it a thing. Like this entry is my photos from New Zealand. Now my photos from Singapore or whatever. So I don't know. I think we were talking about how I got into photography, but I bought the camera because I was rapping and I didn't want to pay someone to take headshots of me. So I'll spend that money on a camera, learn how to use it good enough to make a headshot, and it worked. You know, now I have the camera, and I taught myself photography, and then I got the job I currently have, which pays me better, and I could afford a doper camera. So, and now I have a lot of photography equipment.
What are you doing now for your photography? What is that to you now? Is that you want to make it your career? So it's just still a hobby, but it's more than a hobby?
I'd like to make money from it. I don't know. Maybe not. I said that, and as I said it, I don't really believe it. Like this might be asking a lot, but I'd like to take pictures of exactly what I want to shoot and make money from it, right? Okay. Because right now I'm in that weird place where it's like, okay, I'll shoot.
You get a job of photography, puts you in a box, you don't want to do it.
Yeah, there's definitely that. I own that for sure. But like, there are people. Okay, I'll take pictures of you all day, like whoever that might be, like all day for free because you're this person. I'm either a fan of you, of your music, or whatever. Or I know you have 100,000 followers and you're going to retweet my shit or, you know, post it on Instagram, tag me in it. All of a sudden I get exposure. You know, that's kind of just more business than anything. Right. But then there's the people that, hey, you know, we want photos. We'll pay you. And I look at it and I'm like, fuck, I don't really want to shoot that. What are you paying?
Okay.
What are you paying? Because, I mean, it's not that I don't want to go shoot it, but, like, people have to understand, like, in my life, I have to, neglect my family. I have to maybe call out of work. If it's the weekend and my wife's busy, I have to figure out someone to watch my son. Not only is that almost impossible, but I feel guilty the whole time. So it's like there's levels to this shit. It's not like, oh, word, I'll fucking grab my camera, I'll be on my way, you know? So it's more. You got life. Yeah. Honestly, that's what it is, dude. Yeah. And so I don't really have, my time is valuable, you know? I don't really have time that I care to spend doing shit I don't want to do. Like, I already do shit I don't want to do every day
thank you
for money.
Today, by the way.
Oh, how dare you. I'll fucking keep talking shit. I'll move in. I'll move in.
Go ahead.
But no, I'm to wrap it up. I do enough shit every day that I don't care about for money, right? And I have enough money. I don't have a lot of money, but I have just enough that all my bills are paid. I'm comfortable for the first time in my life. I don't need to do other shit I don't care about for money. I don't need to. If that means go take photos of somebody, you know what I mean? I don't want to do it.
You don't have to do it.
Yeah, I don't have to do it, so I don't want to do it, you know?
Yeah.
So, honestly, the goal, if I'm going to ask the universe for everything, the goal is I want to do exactly what I want to do and make a fuck ton of money doing it.
Doesn't everybody?
Yeah.
That sounds like the ultimate job.
But I think people don't think that's a reality, you know? And
it could be.
I agree. I think it is.
It could be.
There's a lot of people out there that it is their reality. What makes them different from me? What makes them different from you? Just the effort, dude. The law of effort. That's why you'll never hear me say, like, there's a lot of whack shit out there, like, as far as I'm concerned, but you'll never hear me say, like, I'll never write a bad review right? Or I'll never just clown someone just because I think it's whack. Because what I hate the most is social media gives everyone a platform. Like, all you do is comment on other people's shit. You don't have any shit to show for yourself. I have room to comment on other people's shit because I have a fuckload of shit to show for myself. And even then, I don't talk negatively about anyone else's stuff because it took a dickload of effort to get that shitty song out, right? Way more effort than it takes to go on Facebook and be like, this song sucks, or this movie sucks, this book sucks, fuck this politician. You know how much fucking effort it takes to run for president? I don't give a shit, right? I don't give a shit. If it's Trump, Obama, whatever, you know how much effort that takes? Way more effort than I have. So I live by this thing, like the rule of effort, like, or the laws of effort. Like, if this person puts more effort into anything than I do, who the fuck am I to comment on it? I could either say this is really good, or I just don't comment on it. Does that make sense? Am I on a rant right now? No, God damn it!
It was.
It was definitely a rant, right? It felt good though, and I stand by it.
I was about to say, like,
sorry,
it's
you're
funny
just looking at me like,
No, it's funny because I was about to tell you something else, and then what you just said kind of just
blew your mind.
I just have to. Yeah, exactly, blew my mind.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say because it's not like, is it like that you're really trying to go forth and do what you want to do and get paid for it, or it's just like if it happens, it happens?
No, I'm definitely trying. I wish I had the brain that's like, hey, whatever, man. If it happens, it happens.
That's how it sounds. That's how it feels.
I know, but
that's for somebody. That's how it feels.
It's not. I will say that I need to be that way. I think I need to be that way because that guy, if it happens, it happens.
Once that happens, once you finally just like, it will happen. It will happen. It'll probably happen. Yeah.
God damn it.
I feel like that's how it would do it.
And
it happens. It happens.
Maybe
and then,
I
boom,
just.
It happens.
Maybe that's just me justifying the fact that it won't happen because I know I'm never going to be the guy that's, it's fine. Just throw caution to the wind. Everything is going to be fine. Like, that's just not in me. I think your charger fell out of your laptop.
If you were invited to go to the fucking World Has No Idea screening and go take photos, write about it, I'm pretty sure that's like a good sign. And then you releasing that article to the world and it actually getting some traction, I'm sure that's another sign.
No, I mean,
you going to the show and shooting Redman and Method Man, I'm sure that's like in the right direction.
And but in the direction of being really dope at shit, or like in the direction of making a ton of money, or even enough money.
I think really dope at shit to the point where they're gonna eventually give you like.
Who's they though? I'm just trying to figure this out. Huh?
They will.
They will do
it. I don't know who they are. If I knew, then I would be there.
It's so because that's. I don't know. Maybe that's definitely where me overthinking comes in. I don't know, man. Probably. Because maybe I'm just thinking the way I should think, it's so easy for me to fall into no, like just keep doing this, put in the effort, like they'll pay you eventually. But again, that adult side of me, which I don't know, it's a really hard thing to balance, so much so that I haven't fucking figured out how to balance it. But
I think if you stick to it, eventually it's gonna make something happen.
I'm hoping so, man. That's what I'm banking on.
Leave. They're like before it gets to the good part, which is so.
You're right. You're right.
So, like, come on, just stay a little bit more, and then you'll get there.
I will say though, like
rapping, getting up there. Yeah, I don't want to do it.
I do see what you're saying,
stay.
And you're completely right. However, as far as rapping goes, I didn't want to be a rapper the rest of my life. I could totally see myself being a writer the rest of my life.
You would have started way earlier.
Right. And like...
Then you would have got sick of it way earlier.
Even if I went really big, not even saying I was capable or whatever, but if I went like Kendrick Lamar with it, I'm not fucking Kendrick Lamar. Like I'm not any of those guys. I can't sustain that shit. I don't want to. I'm not that interested in it.
That's the one because you don't want to.
Yeah, I don't want to, man. I don't want to. It was a lot of fun.
Man. You do you.
Yeah, I could definitely see myself making a fuck ton of money writing. I want to write books. I want to write articles. I want to write for Vice.
It's fucking great. Your writings are amazing.
You want to know something?
What? It's all not you.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, right.
It's not me.
Imagine.
I stole everything.
You asked me what book I'm writing, right?
Yeah.
And
the novel.
yeah, I kind of write several things at the same time. Kind of like I'm starting 2 podcasts. Like I go from starting no podcast to 2 because
same.
Yeah, right.
Now I have 3 all of a sudden. And it's so weird.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And fuck it works out.
Yeah.
Because the only people that judge you are the people who don't have any podcasts.
Hey.
That goes back to the rules of effort, right?
Right.
Yeah. If you don't have any podcast, I don't fucking hear from you at all. At all.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm ranting again. So I'll close on this. I'm writing a novel, and I'm actually proud of it. I'm writing a novel. I've never ever fucking said this, right?
It's ridiculous. Awesome just hearing it. I'm like, oh shit.
It's fucking ridiculous. I've told my wife this, and she's looking at me like, okay, no, that's cool. It's basically a conversation between. Okay, do you watch Peanuts, Snoopy?
No.
Oh fuck.
Not
Your
much.
wife probably has.
No, she hasn't.
Peanuts?
She hasn't.
No? God damn it! Never mind. I'm not revealing shit.
Do I gotta read it? Should I read it?
If
Should
you
I
don't
find
read
online?
It's a thing.
It's Snoopy. I get it.
It's a comic strip and a movie. I don't know.
You can still say it.
Do you hear that silence?
Yeah.
That's the sound of my balloon being deflated.
You can still say it.
No, I'm not going to. Goddamn it.
Other people know.
No.
Other people are like, of course it's Peanuts. Come on. What the fuck? Just say it.
All right. There's a character in Peanuts called Pigpen. He's the least talked about, but he's kind of the dopest because he's the biggest individual in the whole crew. He's just always has this fucking dirt cloud around him, and everyone's, oh, that's Pigpen. He's dirty. You know, he's just what he's known for. But no one ever asks like, why is Pigpen so dirty? Like, what's going on in this fool's? It sounds ridiculous, but what's going on in his life?
I know him.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Go ahead.
What's going on in Pigpen's life? Why is this kid showing up so dirty? No one's bothering to ask that, right? And that shit always blew my mind as a kid. Blew my mind. And so here I am, an adult, 31, and I want to write a novel explaining why Pigpen is the way he is. And in doing that, I'm finding that I'm getting out a lot of shit that I need to talk about in terms of my life, because what's cool is Pigpen has no story, so you can kind of make up his story. So it's a long conversation between Pigpen and his therapist. There's twists and turns at the end. I haven't really figured out where I'm going with it, but I like it so far. I never like anything I do, and I really like this. So I'm kind of going to keep going with it. But it's Pigpen explaining that he was always made fun of as a kid, and that's
awesome, dude.
It's ridiculous.
That sounds cool as fuck. Like it's
kind of a downer. It's a downer story.
It sounds like the people that create the backstories to like certain shit that you don't really think about.
Sure.
Like, you know, like Pokemon have like, oh, Ash really died in the first episode.
I don't know that, but I know where you're going.
It's like an alternate thing. It's
sure.
like, I forget the word of it, the name of it, but it's like a Jesus
prequel.
I can't think of it. It's a theory. There you go.
Theory.
A fan theory.
Okay.
But I guess it would be a fan theory, but you're gonna get really deep with it.
What I have to compare it to is, and this is ridiculous, but I grew up, one of my favorite movies of all time, it was the first movie I ever saw when I was a kid, was The Wizard of Oz. I'm a huge Wizard of Oz fan, and I read the book Wicked. It's a play also, and that's definitely not some kind of a gang member rapper shit to say, but I definitely read Wicked because it's tight, and it's basically explaining why the witch was so wicked. Why was the witch so wicked? Why does Waldo always get lost? Does Waldo want to be found?
Was it the same as the Oz movie? Like the wizard was the dude?
Essentially, but it's like different. You know, okay. In Oz, you're more explaining the wizard. In Wicked, it's the witch's story. This got really weird.
I like the 2 minutes you've been like this.
Holding my beer in the air?
In the air like this.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we finally finish off, the whole, the conclusion of Gadzooks and his world and his life.
Yeah.
The very long, very achieved, very
thank you,
rewarded, very
interesting,
fulfilled, interesting.
I'll take
life.
Interesting. Yeah.
I had to drink. We are embarking on a new world since we've met, pretty much.
Oh, right.
Yes, we've been trying to be creative with each other.
Together, yes.
Exactly. From taking photos to doing other things. Because I get excited when you put out stuff, and you get I'm hoping you get excited when I put out stuff. Yeah. It's just a mutual thing that we have. And finally, we just decided.
We were that way before we met.
Exactly, but we didn't know each other. But now we know each other, so it's nice.
Sure.
So I have my stuff going on. You have your stuff going on. We decided to make stuff together.
Voltron the fuck up.
Exactly. So we decided to make. Go ahead. You say it.
So any day now.
Right.
Most likely any week now.
Right.
Mighty Muds 1 and I will be starting our own podcast on the side of our own podcasts, because this podcast is pretty fresh.
Pretty fresh, yes.
Right. I have another podcast that I'm working on called On the Way Down. That's just me talking to other people.
I didn't know the name of it. That's awesome. On the Way
word?
Down. That's awesome. That's tight.
Have I showed you the album art?
No,
the album art. That's the rapper
the
shit.
cover, yeah.
The art for it.
Right.
I'll show it to you right now. Anyway, so Muds and I will be starting our own podcast called Active Shooter, or the Active Shooter podcast, basically interviewing everyone that has, I don't know, all things camera, because it's not just a photographer podcast. It's filmmakers. I don't know. We've never really discussed this at length, but it's like, in my head, photographers, fucking filmmakers, even anything you have to do. I know some people, they don't film, but they edit, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk to them.
Yeah.
People like the Brave Straps guy. I name dropped. I shouldn't have done that.
You
could always edit out. Fuck it. Doesn't matter.
People like
people make stuff like camera equipment. People make,
like, I really want to interview what's his name? Jay On. I really want to interview him.
Okay.
He's really fucking dope. He's a director. He's he directed for Dumbfounded and Wax.
Okay.
Andrew Kurchinski. I think he also does all the video work for Wax as well.
Okay.
Casey Chan, I think.
See, this is tight because I don't know any of these people, and that's not to say anything because I don't know a lot of people, right? So
Grady Sean, he was a part of Knox Steady for a while.
Okay.
Intuition, I really want to get him on.
Yeah.
One of my favorites is Jason Goldwatch. I don't know if you're familiar with him.
No, you're sunning me right now. That's tight though. This is good because I have a huge list, so we need to just combine our lists.
Those are just directors. They're all just filmmakers and stuff. Jason Goldwatch is really fucking dope. For George Orozco, he does a lot of.
I know that one.
401. Yeah, his videos.
Yeah.
There's there's a lot. There's a lot of filmmakers that I want to fucking and that's just filmmakers, photographers, all on
right
on the people that I met over there in Minneapolis.
Sure.
People that I know from here. I'm pretty sure people that you've heard of around here too.
Yeah. So I have a list, and then I have I don't know,
the dream list.
Right. Excuse me. That was a weird thing. It wasn't really a burp. It was just kind of a hiccup. Anyway, I don't know, man.
It's exciting.
It's
fucking exciting.
And I everything in me wants to make separate lists. Like, okay, these are the most likely. These are, that'd be tight. And these are the dreams. Probably won't happen. Right. Fuck that. I have one list. Just everyone's on the same goddamn level. Like, you know what I mean? Like on my other podcast, same thing. I want to interview fucking Self-Provoked and Dennis Rodman. Seriously, they're both on there. Yeah. And my homie just hung out with Dennis Rodman. So it's like a possibility.
Yeah.
It's just that much more of a possibility.
Another one for this one is wrestlers. I want to interview wrestlers.
Oh, for this podcast, dude. There you go. That's your shit.
That's another one that I really want to do.
There you go.
Just because that's a whole fucking world that you don't really fucking know.
Exactly.
I don't know. Hopefully, I get one of them.
Is there a wrestling podcast?
Yeah, a fucking ton of them. Yeah,
okay.
There's a ton of them. That's one of the ones I listen to all the time.
Nice.
I met the dude that got me into podcasting, I guess. I met him at he was at a fucking at a independent wrestling show right here down the street.
Oh, okay.
In Southgate.
Tight.
And he's fucking from Chicago.
Huh.
And I saw him there, and I knew he was gonna be there, and I was like, dude, like, you got me into this whole thing. And he didn't fucking know, but I was like, dude, you got me into this whole thing, and you have no idea. He was like, oh, thanks, man. And I heard his voice, and again, I was like, dude, it's so fucking weird. Like,
it's like C-Ray all over again.
I'm listening to you, but yeah, whatever. It was tight to see the person who got me into it, and then me doing all this shit. All these fucking episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's a full circle type of thing.
Right. Right.
So hopefully the active shooter develops by the time this comes out.
Sure.
People should check out the Active Shooter podcast.
Yes.
Or is it just the Active Shooter?
I think it's the Active Shooter podcast.
Nice.
The art I made says the Active Shooter podcast, so we're just going to call it that.
And there you go. Anything else? Zooks.
No,
Zooks.
man. I guess if I can plug, just go to fortmedia.org. That's where you can find all my articles, my photos, and all my links to everywhere I am on the internet. Make it easy for you. It's all in a package. Because that's the right way to do things.
Exactly, as everybody should.
And I appreciate you having me here, man. I appreciate your wife for like allowing me. You have no idea who I am. I'm a complete stranger. But your husband has questionable taste in friends, and I appreciate you just rolling with that. But yeah, Mutz, you're a fucking bad motherfucker. You I knew that before I met you. You are now. Yes, I'm gonna goddamn compliment you on your own show. Don't be all shy. Don't be looking at your. Weird, don't be looking at your computer.
It's so weird when people do this. It's like,
no, you honestly though, you're inspiring. You motivate me. I'm stoked to know that it sounds like the feeling's mutual. I didn't mean it that way, but it's tight. You're very more than anything, dude. You're a very positive person. Even I don't have to talk much about this, but like you had camera issues a few days ago, and you wrote to me like, so camera's broken, so that sucks. I gotta. I'm like, dude, I'd be fucking freaking out. Like my world would be ending, right? And you're just like, no, I mean it happened, and we gotta fix it, whether that happens tomorrow or whenever. Like, I need that kind of positivity in my life. I'm happy to be going into this adventure with you, and
even after today, man, I have that feeling. Like we both had that feeling today.
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't talk about it yet.
No, I saw it.
We had that feeling. Fuck, we're really good.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, we're really good together.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man.
It's gonna be tight.
It'll be fun.
It'll be super tight.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Gadzooks, for coming through.
Thank you,
to
sir.
the lovely city of Southgate. This has been pretty fresh. It's fucking awesome, right?
It is fucking awesome. You're talking to me now.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've always been talking.
I thought I had to shut the fuck up.
No,
I thought you were talking to them.
I don't have an outro for this. We just stop this, and that's it.
Okay. Thank you.
I used to sit up at night eating cereal, watching John Candy movies. Little did I know, all the beer I would drink would make me end up looking like John Candy.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have my friend Mac Lethal here with me. And we're not going to talk about much, but it'll sound cool. Microphone check, 1, 2, what is this? Gadzooks, scratch your name off my hit list. Hunger vicious, rappers are delicious. Lick the plate clean, no need to do the dishes, bitches. I feed them concrete flows, make them shit bricks. Doing this since EPMD was strictly business. Even before LL was wearing lipstick. I still love her like my mistress. She replies, yes you can, when I ask if I can kick it. Since a little kid trying to do kick flips, they wanted to be like Mike, I wanted to be like Slick Rick. Lottie-dottie, this is not a hobby. Do for yourself, that's what my mommy taught me. Grandpa told me when you do it right. You can mind your manners without being too polite. The proud owner of a dream that I've harnessed. Not a star, but an artist regardless. Drop the charges, I'll deliver till I leave behind a bad liver and a super fly carcass. I'll ride till this vehicle's done. Word to my 3-year-old son, I don't need a back scratch, take that sales pitch and run. I got 99 problems and an itch ain't one. Nope.
It's the rhymesmith with the ill blacksmith. On some old school lethal Mac shit, make people backflip. Your tits are fake and they plastic, I melt through any wall you put in front of me with hot hell soup. I serve a hot bowl of sick lava, dude. When I get raw and rude, tastes like rotten food. Grab a fork, grab a knife, grab a paper plate. Watch the recipe I serve start changing shapes. Rearrange your drapes, mop the wooden floors. Stain your cabinets, too hot, let's cook indoors. Mold spores growing underneath your carpet. I vandalize your whole entire luxury apartment. So graphic, when I rap sick. Music fans love Mac Lethal like a fat chick. Jiggle, jiggle, the style's brewing. I smile, I'm such a damn vile human, so
I'll
stay
be that
tuned
insane
in.
ninja from the Psycho Ward, slicing MCs with the Tori Hanzo swords. Rob you poor, everybody on the floor. I'm taking everything I want and more. Donka Shane, I lock lame rappers in a box of shame. Melon farmers get John McClane. I got the game, it's my ball court. Pass to Mac Lethal, your whole squad will fall short like Shaq's free throw. afros. Yeah, I'm a hard act to follow. Take a bite of pride and swallow. Hollow when I'm overly plastered as old dirty bastard. Rap Robert Downey, the ceremony master. Rappers get ghosted faster than Casper in no time. Go ahead and co-sign. Habitual line stepper, I step over lines. And I got more rhymes than Costco with Costco sold rhymes. You can get it in bulk, I beat down the Incredible Hulk. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry. Name me the head of the cult. I sever your throat and resurrect Eminem's ghost. I'm full strength, bitch, you're the minimum dose. I got him shivering, get him a coat. Matter of fact, I'ma get him a quote that go harder than that corny bullshit that he wrote. It isn't a joke, I'm too busy swimming to float. Gadzooks, your definitive host. Your rap license is getting revoked. Alright, I'm good.